Well, intellectual property is about creating, innovating, and making sure that creation and innovation is protected. If you speak to people, young people, older people, and you say, do you think that somebody who creates something or makes something new should be protected for what it is? He would say, yes, of course. I mean, it's his idea. He did it. And this is, in the end, simplified what intellectual property is all about. Protecting creation, innovation, and business. Well, the EU is convinced that innovation is the future for the European economy. All the papers, all the policy papers that look at the perspectives of 2020 that were produced in the European Union say that we are in a knowledge economy, that we need to go forward and need to create more, to innovate more. And this is why, of course, intellectual property is important. Now you say, well, these are all words. Now, we try to put figure on these words, okay? We try to look really how much is the share of intellectual property industries in our economy. We did quite an in-depth study with the European Patent Office, and what we found out is that 26% of the jobs in the European Union are created by IP-intensive industry. That is actually industries that use intellectual property more than average. Actually, everybody uses intellectual property because all the managers, all the business guys, all the engineers, every day they create, they innovate, and all the rest of it. They patent or they don't patent, but some industries concentrate this knowledge and this research, and these create 26% of the employment in the EU. It generates 39% of the GDP. 90% of our exports towards the rest of the world are IP-intensive industry exports. So that is fantastic. Last but not least, it's important because these jobs happen to be much better paid than jobs in other parts of the economy. Up to 40% premium for IP-intensive industries in the wages that they pay to their employees. So is it important for the EU economy or not? We think it definitely is. Actually, it's easier to say what sort of industries, what type of economic activity is not impacted by intellectual property, okay? Almost all the sectors have an aspect or another of intellectual property that is important for them. Obvious things is, of course, the film industry is 100% intellectual property. It's creators, people who make film, the artists, the people who do the music, all the rest of it. But also everything that we have every day. We all have smartphones, telephones, wireless things. Well, this is engineers, the result of engineering, lots of patenting and innovation in the past. And the most obvious of all, I mean, the most used intellectual property right all over Europe is trademarks. Because in a free economy, you are not going on the market without a brand, a trademark that individualizes your product from the competitors. And this is why businesses invest so much into intellectual property, because it is actually necessary for them to do business. Last but not least, design. Having good products, solid products, is great, but you don't sell them unless they're good looking also, okay? And almost 13% of the GDP is generated by design intensive industries in Europe. So all aspects of intellectual property are important. They all serve their specific need, some to protect creation in the artistic field, some the innovation, others just marketing and all the rest of it. Our economy is based on it.